Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing good, hope you are doing well. The countdown is on to the FIFA World Cup qualifiers, match days 5 and 6. Welcome to World Cup Daily. We did this for Qatar. Obviously we're all buzzing and it went wrong in the last game in Bleeder. Can we get more positive results this time? Speaking of that, actually, the last time I tried to do World Cup Daily was literally March 2022, exactly 3 years ago. That's how long it's been since the Cameroon playoffs, 3 years. Different vibes this time. It's Ramadan. It's not the final playoffs. There's still group games later in the year to be happening. But listen, the news is coming out thick and fast. There's lots to discuss. The squad's coming out soon. Looking like Thursday, maybe Friday. Thursday to Friday in the week, we're going to see the list from Petkovic. Who is going to be on that list? That's the question everyone wants the answer to. Now, I made a video sort of predicting what the list might be or should be. Now we've got a bit more information. Of course, firstly, we have the big list, the preliminary list, and basically every country does this, not just Algeria, where they pick like 50 players on an extended list, and then you cut that down to like 25 players, which is your final squad for the international break. And then, like, say someone gets injured, you can pull someone from the bigger squad to replace the injured player. So obviously, we don't know what that big 50-man squad is, but it has been done. A couple of names have been leaked, but the clubs know who's in that, and then in the week we'll know who's on the final list. There's going to be some interesting choices now. In terms of players switching, I'll be honest, we're not going to see Ryan Zerrouki, and we're not going to see Magnus Ait-Nouri. We see Ait-Nouri do the interview on, I think, on Canal Plus. He said, well, it was more about what he didn't say. He didn't really declare for France, but he didn't really declare for Algeria at the same time. I'd be positive of Ait-Nouri. The question is, will he be in the French squad? I'm not sure. I'd be shocked if Ait-Nouri is called by the French. I really would. I think Deschamps would be doing a stinky, disgusting tactic if he tried to pinch Ait-Nouri. Zerrouki's playing very well, very well. If Zerrouki was set on the French, he'd be in that squad. So we're waiting to see what happens with the French squads, but I don't think they will be in ours. A few other interesting stories, of course, at Marseille now. You've got Guiri and Benassa both doing very well since they've joined there. Another player there in the midfield, Bilal Nadir, could play for France, Morocco or Algeria. Declared for the Moroccans, I think Moroccan father, Algerian mother, played for Morocco at youth level, but rumours going around that Bilal Nadir could switch from Morocco to Algeria. Now, of course, our central midfield area is light, but for me, that wouldn't be a good look on us. We can't be taking the sloppy seconds and hoping they do a job. And I don't think Nadir, even if we had him, would be good enough to start for us. That's the honesty. He might become a good player one day, but our midfield is shocking as it is. And to throw in a guy there last minute, I'm not sure it's the right thing to do. So I don't think we're going to see Bilal Nadir in this squad anyway. What about Mohamed Omar Rafik? Of course, played the Mediterranean Games with Algeria in Oran in 2022, I believe. He's moved to Qatar. He plays for Shamal, which is the club that Bounjah plays for. And actually doing quite well. Bounjah is the top scorer in that league. Mohamed Omar Rafik has rejected being put on this big list because he wants to play for Qatar. Now, that is ridiculous. This man was born and bred in Algeria, went through academy systems in Algeria, through Paradou and all that sort of stuff. A lot of money was invested into Omar Rafik in the Algerian youth system. He's gone to Qatar, and it looks like he'd rather be naturalised by them and have a better chance of starting for them. You know, I get it in terms of Omar Rafik would certainly start for Qatar. He would never be starting for Algeria right now, nowhere near good enough. Even with our situation, he wouldn't be starting for us. But if he wants to go and start for Qatar, good luck to him. But that's shocking. And the other guys out there in Qatar, Benassa the defender, Wassim Kadari, the centre-back, wouldn't shock me if they went and played for the Qataris as well. So I've never seen someone switch from Algeria to Qatar. I know the defender did it in the last World Cup. We've seen Boudieff do it as well. So really interesting. William Cookie, that was it. But it's just ridiculous to switch from Algeria to Qatar. If he wants to go and start for Qatar, fair play. But a lot of time and money went into someone like him, and it's backfired. So those are the sort of rumoured players that would switch and stuff. Now let's go into the sort of players we know all about and what's happening with them. Now, listen, I've lost count how many times I've spoken about this, and I can't believe we've got to go through it again. Why on earth is Youcef Belaili, being discussed again? 33 now. How many times are we going to have this debate? And he might be in the final squad. If he's in the big squad, he might be in the final squad. The only reason he's even got a sniff of a chance, a little smell of an opportunity, a scent, it's because Benrahma's gone to the Saudi second division. That's the only reason why Belaili's being considered again, is because Benrahma swapped Lyon for the Saudi second tier. That's the only reason, because it makes him look like he's playing at a high level. Now, listen, respectfully, the Tunisian league, whoever else is playing for us, the Tunisian league is not a high standard. It's not. I'm not saying it's bad, but you cannot say, oh, Benrahma's in the Saudi second division, because, listen, Yacine Brahimi is smashing it in Qatar, and we see Petkovic bring him at the beginning, even made him captain. It doesn't mean Yacine Brahimi's got to come because he's doing so well at Al Gharafa or whatever it is. By that logic, you'd take him as well, because if you're going to say Belaili's doing well in Tunisia, well, Brahimi's doing well in Qatar, Farid Belaili is doing well in Qatar, Sofiane Hani, these guys, you wouldn't get them in. So it doesn't work like that. And I think it's going to be a huge mistake, because if you bring in Belaili, you're not bringing him to be on the bench. When have you ever seen Belaili come on for 15, 20 minutes? Barely remember it. Did it happen in the Mauritania game? Well, that went well. Listen, you can't be doing that. You shouldn't be in it. We should be moving on. I don't mind Bunja, because he's putting the ball in the net every week in Qatar. He's a strong physical centre forward with experience that we need. We've got far better options on the left. That left has got to be occupied by either Guiri or Amora, for me. Guiri on the left, Bunja up front, because I don't see why you'd go back to that. I know he scored the last time we went to Botswana. He scored a corner, for goodness sake. Doesn't mean it. So for me personally, I'm against it. Now, I'll be the first to admit it. If he plays well and he proves me wrong, fair play. But that means you'd keep him at 34, 35 going to the World Cup next year if we qualify. Is that what you really want? Because he's going to be kicking up a fuss. He's going to be saying, I helped you get there, I want to be there. So think carefully if you want him back. Even Benrahma's in the Saudi second tier. He's been one of the most informed players under Petkovic. Now, disclaimer, I wouldn't start him either, even though he's been good for Petkovic. The goal he made against Guinea, Uganda, a couple in the AFCON qualifier, he's been good form. That's what happens when he gets to start minutes. But going to Neon, I can't say start Benrahma, that'd be hypocritical. I still think I play Guiri on that left side, who smashed it off the left in the AFCON qualifiers, Baghdad down the middle, and Riyad on the right, because again, that Riyad hasn't really got competition. Mahrez hasn't really got competition. Also, Benrahma's put on a lot of weight. I don't know if it's a fasting, he's put in on the pounds. So yeah, that's kind of the big story. And in terms of the midfield, Zerrouki hasn't played for Feyenoord in a long time. He missed some of those crucial Champions League games that Hadj Moussa played. It would be a huge shock if Zerrouki was in this squad. Now, I can't remember the last time Zerrouki was not involved. Now, for me, if he is injured, and he's been injured for weeks and months, he cannot be fit enough to go to Francistown. He can't be. There is no way you can throw Zerrouki into that, especially and go and start him. No way, he won't be fit. If Zerrouki's in this squad, he's paying someone at FAF to play. I'm telling you, the guy's not played club football for 2 months. I'd rather be picking Bentala with the pacemaker in his heart. He's been doing pretty good since he's come back from injury. I know he's not fully fit, but if I had to choose one, I'd go for Nabil. Zerrouki hasn't played for ages. If he's in this squad, there's something fishy going on about why he plays every time there's an international game. So I think now we might see the national team without Zerrouki. Surely we're going to see the national team without Zerrouki, and we're going to see if we're better or worse, because it might give opportunities to a Badawi, a Kendusi, an Abdelli to sit in that midfield and see what they can do if they can control that area, because far too long it's been Zerrouki in there with Benassa, or Benassa's been injured and Zerrouki's been with someone else. I want to see what Zerrouki can do. Now, do you remember Zerrouki actually came on and scored, I think, in Mozambique away in Maputo when Belmadi was in charge, a second game in this group. We went to Mozambique, we won 2-0 in Maputo, Mozambique's home stadium. Very difficult game, very impressive win for Belmadi. Still think it's his legacy leaving us those 3 points, right? Now, Mozambique can't play there anymore. Mozambique are playing Uganda in Cairo. How ridiculous is that? So, if we had that fixture now, we'd only be going to Cairo. Mozambique are playing more games in North Africa this month than we are. They're playing in Cairo and then they're playing in Tizi Ouzou. So how does that work? We've got to go all the way down to Francistown and back up to Tizi Ouzou. Mozambique are going to play in Cairo at home and then straight to Algeria. I mean, it's just mind-baffling. It's ridiculous. They're throwing everything our way. Everything's being thrown our way to knock us in this qualifying campaign. We've got to deal with it. We've got to prove them wrong. we got to show him that whatever obstacle or hurdle you want to throw at us, whether that be using Zerrouki or playing in the middle of nowhere with no food or drink, we've got to do the business. So there we go. So anyway, lots of information there. We're going to await this list. We're going to see what happens as well. Obviously, games coming thick and fast across the continent. It's going to be interesting to see what Petkovic does. Is he going to bin off the likes of Benzia and Bakra? Is he going to bring in some new players that he's kept under the wraps? Let's wait and see. But let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you next time.